everybody, welcome to Excel video 418. I'm Nate Moore. Worked on a project this week for a group that said, hey Nate, we've got physicians we're trying to get to fill out this form to meet meaningful use stage 2. We're concerned and want to get a report back of which physicians are not filling out this form on every patient. Tell us which encounters and whatever. So what we did was we built an email that goes out every Monday morning that says, here's all the encounters that have been missed for these specific fields for meaningful use stage 2. And then it's easy for them to manage and make sure that we follow up and get the things done that we need to so we can attest. If I can help you with scheduled emails telling you exactly what you need to know about your practice, I'd love to. We're going to play more with ranges and identifying them in Visual Basic for applications today. Where we left off last time was right here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do range A1 just like we did up above. If I go up here, same range A1, but instead of worrying about interior yet, we're going to add this offset. And what this offset method will do is it'll say, hey, start here. So here in this case is A1, and then what we want to do is offset, and I put a little note out here, rows and columns. I want to go down 2 rows and over 12 columns, and that's where I'm going to make this 37 change colors. So if I come down here, start at A1, down 2 over 12, this light blue color here is the 37. So you say, Nate, why don't you just go to the cell you need to start with? And a lot of times I will. But if I know I need to start someplace, or if I'm doing a bunch of work and when I finish this work, then go over so many cells and down so many cells and do this, this offset function can help me navigate around my spreadsheet. The other thing I can do is I can combine the range and the cells that we were playing with before, and I can say my range is from cells this to that. And you say, Nate, why on earth would I make it that hard? And if that's all you're doing, you're making it way too hard. But if you want to put variables in here where the 2 and the 20 are, remember the way cells works is row and column. So this is column 20, row 2, out to column 25, row 3. These are numbers now. I could put variables in here and write some kind of formula to loop or something that says, hey, if this happens, go to the next row, go to the next column within this range, because the cells method is going to help me, or this object, excuse me, is going to help me navigate around my spreadsheet. That's what these two are trying to do. I can use the ranges up here when I know where I am and I am where I want to be. Where I know where I am and I need to be someplace else, these two functions might help me. Okay, one more thing in this Excel video. All this assumes, everything we've talked about so far assumes that I'm on the spreadsheet I want to change. If I want to change a different sheet in the same workbook, what you can do is in front of each of these kind of commands, notice what I put here is this worksheets object. And what I can do is I can say worksheets, sheet 1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify sheet 1, which happens to be the name of my worksheet here. And I'm going to do all this on sheet 1. So even if I'm someplace else, I can change it. Notice we've run macros from this sheet in the last Excel video, but another sheet, I've got code here saying this is another sheet, and I've made some kind of pattern with highlighting cells. Well, what's going on? What I'm doing is I'm saying worksheets, another sheet. So I'm going to identify, I have a worksheet tab, remember, called another sheet. So on that another sheet, I'm going to take range A1, and now I'm going to, instead of doing color index, here I'm doing value. I'm going to put the number 1500 in cell A4 on sheet 1. And in cell A1 on another sheet, I'm going to put the text, this is another sheet. See how it's in quotes? I can also highlight this range and change the color. And so look what I've done here. On another sheet, I've got 2 ranges in my range function right here. So on my another sheet, do cells D6 to D10 and cells F6 to F10. So I didn't have to do 2 lines like I might have up here and done D6 to D10, F6 to F10 by putting a comma in between my range function and putting these ranges in quotes. I can do 2 ranges at once. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to do, is do 2 ranges at once down here. Last one. Here's worksheets, another sheet. And this time, instead of using the range like I had here and here, I use the brackets like I did here and here. So I'm going to go to worksheets, another sheet. So I'm going to the tab, that worksheet called another sheet, and from cells B2 to C7 and cells E10 to F13, change the interior color. So that's how to reference a different sheet on the same workbook. If you need to get to another workbook, stay tuned. We'll do that in the next Excel video. Thanks for watching.